There was a report from Star Wars Newsnet, which is our friends there. We go to them a lot for Jedi Council and Rule of Two.
Cool.
And they're saying that that instead of an Obi-Wan movie, it's going to be an Obi-Wan Disney streaming service.
Cool.
Now, I was like wondering. Exactly. I was wondering though, like, why not the movie? But then it makes sense. And then I started thinking about, well, Ewan McGregor, he's a movie star. But then I thought, wait a minute, he did Fargo.
He did do Fargo, and he was
great in it. So this makes sense. Would you watch an Obi-Wan TV series, or would you rather have a movie?
Listen, I'm in the minority, I guess, that I loved the Han Solo. I love Solo, a Star Wars story. I thought it was really well done. It was a fun friggin' movie. But the Star Wars faithful are never going to be happy with anything. But if you give them more of an Obi-Wan limited series, this kind of thing, I would see the Star Wars faithful being a little more placated by this situation. I'm looking forward to seeing what The Mandalorian comes, because if The Mandalorian really brings it, which I think that it will with all the talent behind it, that I think the limited series for Obi-Wan could be fantastic.
What's interesting is initially when people were talking about them maybe doing an Obi-Wan movie, a lot of people said they would need more time. You know, just one movie they wouldn't be able to do. Maybe they would do an Obi-Wan trilogy. So doing possibly 6 episodes of this is like having
8. You want to do 8. I think 8 is.
I would want as many as I could get.
Think they said,
for an Obi-Wan thing.
It could be as many as 6.
They're assuming 6.
Yeah, but I don't actually know. Right. I just read that off of the wall. So maybe 8, whatever it is. It gives us a little more time with Obi-Wan. I think it's pretty cool that they would do this. And it also shows that they're putting a lot into the streaming service. They're really investing in it. They're getting some huge pieces of IP. So I think it would be great for them. That being said, I did always picture an Obi-Wan movie on the big screen.
Yeah, I've always wanted an Obi-Wan movie.
That.
And I think this is the change. We talked about this on Rule of Two. The latest one is up now. We'll probably talk about it on Jedi Council. But like, what changed? It was Solo. So now we're thinking that they're pumping the brakes on all the spin-off movies. We'll get Episode 9 for sure. But then what happens after that? I'll take a limited series. I mean, they're doing Loki. They're going to do Cassian Andor. And they're doing, obviously, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But that seems like a lot of series all at once.
And the Vision one, too. Vision and
Vision and Scarlet Witch.
I don't know, though, if any of the... Like, Obi-Wan is mainstream.
Yeah.
This is a mainstream show that would drive people. I don't know if you hear Mandalorian and you are not a Star Wars fan, if you're like, gotta get that app.
Yeah.
Need that.
Right.
So, and even Loki is a little more so,
I don't
but
like Loki.
it's
I don't.
valid. But I think that Obi-Wan, like that is, that's their draw.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe they've been polling, maybe they've been testing. I like the idea, but I didn't envision it this way.
For you, Riley, here you're a Star Wars expert, host of Rule of Two here on Collider. You guys can check it out on the feeds.
Sure.
What would you want this to look like between the prequels and number 4?
Mm-hmm. That's what I want. I mean, I think the only story you have is that between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, when he's quote unquote looking over Luke. And what happens in that time? Does he stay on Tatooine or does he go somewhere else? Okay.
What do you want?
What do I want?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Obi-Wan would have left. I mean, I think there's a lot going on. Maybe something would call him away to help. I don't know. But, you know, then I could see it being he never goes away from Tatooine. He only stays there to guard over Luke. And it's like a Western, you know, and he deals with bounty hunters and he deals with the scum and villainy. He deals with the Hutts. He deals with the Sand People, what have you. And I would love to see maybe him get involved with Owen a little bit, who's watching after Luke, and they become like a buddy friendship kind of thing that then later at the end of it, it's like they kind of had a falling out. So later on in New Hope, Uncle Owen's like, Luke, no, stay away from him. He's just a crazy hermit. Because then you can connect it that way. Yeah. So I like that. I mean, we'll see. I don't know how legit this is yet because I always want to make sure we get the news from Star Wars itself, but this makes a lot of sense.
I like it. I mean, listen, I'm excited about the Mandalorian thing. Yeah. I'm still on the fence if I'm going to buy the Disney thing. I'm very... I don't
Let's
think
see if we can get Collider to flip the bill for the two of us, and then we'll do reviews.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to legitimately go bankrupt, and again, not complaining, but with all the streaming services I have.
They just need to start offering bundles within a cable package so that I can actually just like be like, all right, here's another $1 on my cable bill instead of here's 9 more sign-ins that I forgot my password of Disney. Is it the same as Hulu?
No, but they needed an extra vowel, and I'm spending I think $75 right now on streaming service.
It's ridiculous.
The Obi-Wan thing is true.
Speaking of which, listen, I know I heard you guys talked about that. I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah, we wanted your take now.
Let's hear. So look, the news on the table is that it's reported that Obi-Wan has been now taken into potentially being a streaming series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the one part from what I hear is that I've heard this is that it's just in development. That it's possible that it's just in development. I know that we all know that there's been a script for this thing. A script has been out there. I wouldn't be surprised if they took that script, just pieced that out and started to make it a series. Whether or not it gets greenlit, I don't know. I think when the Mandalorian and Cassian Andor are successful, much bigger chance for this thing going into full production. But as of right now, I don't see any announcement coming anytime soon. What do you think, Jared? Do you think there's a possibility to hear it coming soon?
Yeah, I think it's kind of predicated on Episode 9. Because I think they had a lot of Star Wars stories coming up, and then Solo flopped last year. 8 was a little
flop. It was good.
It was okay at the box office. Money-wise, it definitely flopped for what Star Wars. And then 8 obviously was mixed reviews, so I think Disney is kind of pushing off all projects to see what the reception is with 9 to make sure that 9 is very successful, people like it, and people are
Let's go ahead. Keep going.
It's a
Episode
sound bite.
9.
It's a sound bite.
Oh, I was like, am I not counting right?
You're right. You're right. We're just gonna keep messing with you, but you're
perfect.
right.
It'll keep happening. Just
Feels like home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking. I mean, they're gonna do something. They're not gonna stop. I know the Rian Johnson trilogy is still apparently on, and they were gonna make a solo movie, and now they're gonna make a Obi-Wan movie, and now it's gonna be a television series. I think it's all predicated on 9. If 9's really good, they'll push this into production, and they'll push out a TV series because people will be back on Star Wars.
I think it's more. I mean, 9. I think we've talked about it a lot.
9?
Yes, number 9. I think we've talked about it on Jedi
9,
many times that there's going to be a lot, and I like this, that there's going to be fan service. I think there's going to be so many things different from what we saw in 8. I think there's going to be a lot of different stuff that JJ does. I think he's going to continue a lot of the stuff that he did from 7.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think that Obi-Wan plays into the success of 9 because even though I just think it's a foregone conclusion that 9 is going to do well.
It's going to do well at the box office, but so did Last Jedi. And I think people kind of felt... I don't think people are as excited as 9 because of The Last Jedi. And they're...
I think they're scared.
Yeah, I
Of
think
course
I think
they're
it's more scared. I think that they are. I think if Rian Johnson was doing 9, there'd be more of a worry.
What are you guys' thoughts about 7? Because when Force Awakens first came out, everybody loved it. And I think over the years, it's gotten a worse rap as the years have gone on.
See, I feel the opposite. I feel because of how split the fan base was with 8 that 7's got a better rap.
See,
No, I feel the same way as you, Jared.
See, I disagree
Yeah.
because I feel like now people are making the argument that The Last Jedi was actually a better movie than The Force Awakens.
Who's saying that?
Me.
I see that all the time online. Now, granted, this is Star Wars fans, so I'm going to Reddit and shit like that. Having said that, I think there are a lot of people are saying what you're saying 9 could potentially be, which is, well, 7 wasn't its own movie. It was just a remake of A New Hope, and it was just fan service. And a lot of people now, I feel like, are going more towards The Last Jedi because they're like, well, at least The Last Jedi took a chance. So if
I'm
9
on a different planet than you are, I think. 'Cause
Really?
I'm saying way different things. I see
It's
the
all
opposite.
about your one timeline. That's what I'm realizing because I'll say all these reviews are positive. It's just the people that I'm following.
Right.
So you're obviously following different people, but my timeline's more similar to yours, where I'm seeing
What do you
that
see,
more and
Riley?
more.
Well, I'll say this. When we were getting close to The Last Jedi, I rewatched Force Awakens, put it out there on Twitter saying, oh, so excited because Force Awakens was so great and people loved it. Last Jedi, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was shocked at how much
Negativity?
pushback I got. I got a lot of it's just a remake of New Hope. I got a lot of the characters suck. There's no interesting. Disney's doing this wrong. It's like, I was shocked, so I'm a little on Jared's point on
So
this.
it's
I've been
more of a
seeing-
Disney pushback, you guys would say, than anything else.
Maybe it's Disney. Maybe it's. It is the narrative that we've been following along with a lot lately, which I don't like to push. But I think there are other detractors out there that don't like this sequel trilogy because it's Disney, maybe because George Lucas isn't involved or what have you. But I think Episode 9 is going to be huge, and I think Obi-Wan
9?
is going to go forward no matter what.
Oh, yeah. You do think it's going to happen no matter what?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know if Kathleen Kennedy gets it.
I
don't
think they're
she gets it.
scared. I think you guys are right. I think they're very scared, especially after what happened to Solo.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Ashley, did you care at all?
No.
Dude, I showed her.
Bring back Hayden Christensen.
Oh God,
Yes.
fucking go.
Look at that same page.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.